Ohayou, guy! Hello, dear humans. What do you think about the raid? I, personally, quite enjoy it myself. However, you must be aware that there are dangers lurking in the rain as well. Picture this. It's a rainy day, and you're on your way home from school. As you wait at the red lights, on the other side of the road, you see a tall young woman. She's wearing white clothes that contrast with her long black hair, and she's dragging what seems to be a large doll behind her. However, the longer you look, you start to realize that she's not dragging around a doll at all, but a child so disfigured you weren't able to make it out at first. You might have just met Hikiko-san. And what exactly is Hikiko-san, you might ask? Well, she is considered to be an onryo, or a vengeful spirit. It is said that, if you were to meet her, you'd soon become a replacement for that doll of hers, dragged around until you're beyond recognition. Hikiko-san is especially fond of rainy days, as children would be holding on to their umbrellas and wouldn't be able to see her disfigured face. But what exactly made Hikiko-san this way? Well, Hikiko was a student who was often bullied by her classmates. Some stories say that it was because of how well she did in class. Others say that it was because her name, written with the characters for queen, princess, and child, made her seem arrogant. There are even some who claim that Hikiko's face had already been deformed from her parents' abuse at home. And that was what made her a target of bullying at school. Whether it be the bullying or the abuse that came first, either way, Hikiko was said to have been dragged around on the ground by both parties, and this was what had caused her face to be deformed. This is a clever play on words. Hikiko is another word for a Jinrikisha puller, with Jinrikisha meaning rickshaw, which brings in the dragging aspect to this legend. After all the abuse she endured, Hikiko eventually became a shut-in. This is once again a clever play on words. Her full name, Mori Hikiko, is read as Hikikomori in Western format. Hikikomori being a Japanese term for shut-ins who refuse to leave their rooms. The only time she ever left her room was when it rained. She would compare her disfigured face to that of frogs, which only came out when it rained, and that kind of kinship comforted her. Other than that, she never came out of her room. Some say that she became a vengeful spirit after committing suicide sometime after, exacting revenge on her bullies. However, there is also another, more gruesome ending to her tale. In this one, Hikiko had become attached to an abandoned kitten she found on her way home from school. She took care of it the best she could, feeding it and providing it with a cardboard box to sleep in. Her bullies, unhappy with the small joy in her life, took the kitten away. Instead of her kitten, Hikiko found a letter stating that if she wanted to see the kitten alive, she must come to the school parking lot. When she got there, she found the kitten tied by its neck to the back of a teacher's car, just as that teacher was getting in. Not wanting the kitten to die, Hikiko grabbed onto the rope, protecting the kitten with her body. She was dragged for several kilometers before the teacher noticed that something was wrong. When that teacher got out of the car, Hikiko was found dead, though she had successfully protected her kitten. Then, how do you protect yourself against Hikiko-san? Well, it's said that Hikiko-san does not attack victims of bullying, or those with the same name as her. If you check neither of those boxes, however, there are a couple ways to ward her off. First, you can yell that you're going to drag her. While she's stunned from recalling her trauma, you can escape. Another way is to show her reflection in a mirror, as she hates looking at her disfigured face. Either of these methods are cruel, so maybe it's best to just not go outside when it rains. The legend of Hikiko-san has floated around since July of 2001, So she would have been well in her 30s or 40s had she still been alive. We'll never know what kind of person she would have been had she not been treated so cruelly. I hope there's something you could take away from this, dear humans. And if you ever meet Hikiko-san, tell her hello for me. That's all for this week, dear humans. Don't forget to bring an umbrella and stay safe. See you next week.